And now we honour the Windrush generation, of course, who helped rebuild post-war Britain. They were invited to move from the Caribbean to fill vacancies in hospitals and factories. Today, flags were raised in Derby and Nottingham as those pioneers were joined by younger generations who've been born and bred here. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
Flying the flag for Windrush Day as Nottingham basked in Caribbean heat.
They came with a great determination in their hearts. They saw this country as their country.
Honouring the generation who sailed here 74 years ago.
My late grandfather, Vincent Fuller, he served in the British forces in the war, World War II, and he also worked for the Nottingham City Council here as a dustman.
We came here, we work, we live. I work at General, I work at City. 38 years I give to the health service.
When I look back at the contribution, my mother was a nurse who worked in the General Hospital up there.
38 years for me.
And without the nurses, the NHS would have fallen.
Happy Windrush!
Today was a celebration of all they've achieved, but they remembered the struggles too. Racism and more recently the Windrush scandal, when people were wrongly deported and denied homes and jobs.
British history is taught in a way that doesn't necessarily acknowledge the full story behind the black experience in Britain. A black experience that started with colonialism. Ignorance of history does breed racism, because then people say, well, you should go back to your where you came from. Well, where I came from was a former British colony.
History and poetry too.
I am the seed, spawned as a result of your pollination.
This tribute on behalf of the generations who were born and bred here.
I feel like I owe my grandparents my life, realistically, because I feel like there's so much that would be different if they hadn't made this trip over here and kind of been able to instill a lot of principles in me and give me the opportunities that I've had. So I would say I owe them everything, to be honest.
And today's celebration ended with a Windrush Day cruise on the River Trent, marking that historic Atlantic crossing with a rather more leisurely sailing. Jeremy Ball, BBC East Midlands Today, Nottingham.